What's up YouTube, Dave from Zephyr bringing you the Ancient Gear test hand video. This is just basically for you guys to see the type of plays the Ancient Gears can make. Now, in my personal opinion, they are better at going second. They have such a strong OTK capability. They're a little bit slower than dinosaurs, so they might take a couple of turns to build up their OTK, but sometimes they can get it in their first turn. So, without further ado, I'm going to shuffle these up, and then we're going to go second, draw in 6 cards, and we'll probably do about 5 test hands, just to see what they can do. And I'll go through some of the alternatives that you could do with some of the hands, should they present themselves to. So there's our first starting hand of 6. Now let's see what we're sitting on. Whoa, interesting, very interesting actually, because you would activate Ancient Gear Town. Then I would probably say it's difficult because you could probably go Gold Gadget's effect, special summon Wyvern, Wyvern's effect, search out an Ancient Gear card. So I would search out Ancient Gear Fortress, activate Fortress. Now bear with us because I'll show you. I think this is OTK. This is obviously with my opponent not having anything. If my opponent does a back row, then obviously I've got the fodder there for Twin Twister to clear back row. So you then got these two on board. Overlay these two into number 59 Cookie Cook. So, and then use Cookie Cook's effect, detach, destroying both Gear Town and Ancient Gear Fortress. Both of those go off to give you I think I can't get Ancient Gear Golem because it doesn't say ignoring summoning conditions. So this one lets you special summon Ancient Gear monster from my hand or graveyard. So that would bring back Wyvern or Box. So I'd bring back Wyvern, and then the other one would bring me out React Dragon. And then you could activate limit of removal if you wanted to. That's on 6k, that's on 34, and then you've got a 23 from Cookie Cook. So that is pretty much boof, and see what you could do. I'm pretty sure if this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate their effects until the end of the damage step. So that can clear off a monster as well, and then you can just push for a little bit more. So that is pretty much, hopefully, game on that point. If you've been able to do that. Right, let's go on to test hand number 2. Going second again. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six. Ooh, we've opened up with Catapult, so that's really good if we've opened up with Fortress or Town. There we go, perfect. Oh, double Town, Power Bond, Terraforming, MST. That is, what is this? MST back row just because you can, just to be safer. I mean, you could Terraform to Deck Fin, but you know, you would activate Gear Town, activate Catapult, Catapult pop Gear Town, you get a double monster there. Now it's entirely up to you how you want to play this. So I'll show you what we've got in our hand. We might as well activate Terraforming while we're there, just to Deck Fin a little bit more. But we've got, so let me Deck Fin first, let's get the final Gear Town in place. So we take out the Gear Town. Right, now we have the ability, so from Gear Town, we special summon an Ancient Gear monster from a hand, deck, or graveyard. Very simple. Ancient Gear Catapult, we special summon an Ancient Gear monster from our deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So that is how you can get Golem on board. Now, with Power Bond in hand, this is where it kind of gets interesting. So you do have the ability to get Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem out with 7,000 attack. So you could, if you wanted to, so here are your options. You could go Wyvern, and you could go So Wyvern off of Gear Town and then Golem off of Catapult. Right, Wyvern's effect then goes off and searches you an Ancient Gear card. So you can pretty much add any Ancient Gear you wish to your hand. We have a normal summon, so if you wanted to, you could go, just for that little bit of extra burn, you could go Ancient Gear Hunting Hound, normal summon him, his effect to burn for 600. Then you could activate Power Bond, sending all 3 of those to the graveyard for... put the Ancient Gear Golem back in my folder. But yeah, you would put Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Let me grab him out for you guys. It's called Preparation. So many cards. Yeah, so then you could then activate Power Bond, getting you out your Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Now, with Power Bond, you know, you send from your hand or side of the field to the graveyard fusion material monsters that are listed on a machine type fusion monster card and special summon that fusion monster from your fusion deck. This special summon is treated as if it gains attack equal to its original attack during the end phase of this turn. You take damage equal to its original attack. So he is now 88 through Power Bond, as far as if I understand Power Bond correctly. These 3 are now in your graveyard. You've already burnt for 600. And then you've got your Ultimate Ancient Gear to attack. So if they've left the monster in attack, you've pretty much hopefully got game by this point. So when it attacks a defense position monster, it's doing piercing, and a defense position monster whose defense is lower than the attack, which obviously will be if there's a defender with 4400 in this game, I don't know about it. Inflicted difference is battle damage to your opponent. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards to the end of the damage step. If this card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear Golem from your graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions. So you have an incredibly strong beater on board. Your other options for Power Bond, if you wanted to, you could have left Ancient Gear Golem on board, and you could have got your Howlitzer out. So your Howlitzer then would burn for a K, and then it would also have 2k attacks. You could then do a bit of damage that way. So there were your alternatives in that one. It's just really bizarre that we opened up with 2 Gear Town, but you know, hey ho. Right, let's go again. So this is going. This is our 3rd test hand, and going 2nd again. Now, I am a little bit new to the Ancient Gear deck myself, so if I have done any plays wrong, please just let me know. Obviously, I want to improve as best as I can, but there we go. Right, let's see what we got. So, that hand's a bit, yeah, you'd go, I suppose, Silver, Wyvern's effect. You could double up. That's what I should have done in the previous one. So in the previous one, I could have added Ancient Gearbox, and then Ancient Gearbox would have then added another Earth Machine type monster with 500 attack or defense. So I could have then added Ancient Gear Gold Gadget, so then I would have had more fodder for off plays. Anyway, so yeah, you can deck theme your deck a little bit more like that if you're happy with what you've already got in hand. Annoyingly, we've opened up with a very, very strong monster hand rather than anything else. So you now have the ability, if you want to overlay into any of your rank 4s, which consist of Giga X, Castel, Heavy Armor Train, Diamond Direwolf, Corrigan Knight, or Crooked Cook. Now, Crooked Cook, not so much. Corrigan Knight, not so much. Diamond Dire, again, not so much. You know, this can attack directly if you wanted to do just 22 direct. Castel, depending on what they've got on board, and then Giga X if you want that extra search. Unfortunately, other than that, that's kind of what you've got. Right, let's shuffle that lot up. So we'll do test hand number 4, again going 2nd, and then we'll do test hand number 5, again going 2nd. Okay. Now it's a really, really cheap deck to finish off, and it's really fun actually because it just has like natural outs to Crystal Wings and stuff like that, which makes it, you know, a still very, very good and competitive deck. It just doesn't compete. You know, when someone says, "Here you go, here's 20, 25 quid," go buy 3 Yu-Gi-Oh decks, you know, you're going to want the strongest one, which is going to be Dinos. But to complete that, when the True King stuff comes out, is going to be quite expensive. Especially now with the Earths as well, it's like an extra tenner just for the 3 Earths. Anyway, unless Konami troll us and the field spells like a rare or a rare common or ultra, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. Right, okay. See, now this is where I'm disappointed. This is where the Ancient Gear Wyvern kind of sucks in comparison to these two, because you can play these two, right? Then you've got normal summon your Ancient Gear. Now Wyvern then could then add Catapult, but then that puts you a turn behind, because then you would have to sit on. You'd probably have to go Wyvern, sit on the warning, and then next turn hope your opponent clears your Wyvern off. So the next turn you could just go activate, Catapult pops one of them, and that gets you 2 like insanely big beaters on board. Not to mention your normal summon if you want it still, and whatever you top decked. So that's kind of the downside of Catapult, is that you have to control no monsters to do it. But yeah, with that turn, that's kind of your slower turn. That's, you need to survive the turn to then be able to extend your play the next turn, which is the one downside of Wyvern. Okay, now let's go on to our final test stand. Like I said, I really enjoy playing this deck. I'm new to it, so I'm just trying to get the bits and bobs of it all together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I fully enjoy it. I really do. Right, so let's say I've activated Max E during my opponent's turn, and then we're just going to replace it like for like. Okay, so Terraforming gets me a search, which isn't too bad actually, because now you go Terraforming gets you Gear Town, you activate Gear Town, you activate Fortress if you want to. Shame Fortress is only hand or graveyard. Because then basically you would then go Both, overlay into Cook, detach, nuke the board, well, your side, bring out a Reactor Dragon, and then you can only bring one out from hand or grave, so then you either special summon out your Hunting Hound. If you special summon out your Hunting Hound, you have the ability to poly. That'll get your Howlitzer out, but then you're sacrificing your Reactor Dragon, or you would choose, instead of Reactor Dragon, you would choose, where are you? Wyvern. Wyvern can then search you out your box, and then box can then search you out another Ancient Gear gadget. Oh, hello. So that's probably your best way to extend it, because then you can just go Hunting Hound with them 4 and get out your Mac Daddy, your Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. So this card just needs 4 Ancient Gear monsters, so you know you've got all 4 of those. Unaffected by spell and trap effects, which is awesome. Your opponent's monsters cannot activate their effects during the battle phase. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. If this card attacks this monster, you fit pierce and battle damage. So yeah, before any of this, you could have activated Dark Hole just to clear your opponent's board. But yeah, that's kind of the best way of going around it. Like, sometimes you do want to get your big Reactor Dragon on board, but if you have the ability of getting Hunting Hound out, you can go into Wyvern, and then Wyvern then gives you the ability to stock up your hand for Hunting Grounds, Hunting Hound, sorry. Which is, you know, it's such a good card, and it's dirt cheap. It's like 10p if that. So yeah, let's do one test hand going first, just to see what we can end up with. But like I said, they're not really that defensive, in the sense that your best opening hand would be the ability of Wyvern. So there you go. Hunting Hound does help, like there's no argument with that, because you could literally, but now you could probably go, you have the ability to stock up. You could go gold and then Hunting Hound, or you could wait Hunting Hound for a turn and you could go gear, Wyvern. It's difficult, I mean, gear, Wyvern and terraforming. Wyvern's effect goes off. You know, you could add your catapult if you wanted to, and then you could add your, where are we? Add your gear town with your terraforming. And then you can overlay these into either Giganex, and he will give you more fodder for your ancient gear Hunting Hound, or you could go into Crooked Cook and blow up your own gear town, but you want to hold off on that. So you'd probably go Gigax. That would get you a search. Your other option would have been Gold Gadget into Hunting Hound to then fuse with one of your Wyverns to get you out a Howlitzer. And again, you got your Gear Town and Ancient Gear play. Sorry, your Gear Town. You'd have your Gear Town, but you wouldn't have your Catapult. So there's definitely alternatives there for you. My personal opinion would have probably gone to that. Sit on a Giganex. Giganex searches out Box, and Box would then search Gadget in itself. Where are you, Box? Ancient Gearbox would then search out Gadgets. You've got the fodder in hand. The only downside to this is you now have to survive the turn, which with dinosaurs, you know, the ability to OTK is kind of high. But yeah, that's it. That's kind of a very, very easy deck to pick up and develop and change. I am still tweaking it, so if you do have any suggestions, please let me know. So thanks for watching. I hope this helps. I hope this gives you an idea of what gears can do. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner.